From Army Special Forces to CIA case officers, few watch brands are more present in the field than Seiko, aka the Toyota of watches. In this video, we'll unpack Seiko's rise among the military and special operations, stopping along the way to identify key models with close ties to our community. Watches of Espionage is curated by a former CIA case officer with a passion for timepieces. On the W.O.E YouTube channel, we explore the intersection of watches and the military, intelligence, and national security. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be informed when we release new videos. Look back at the pictures of conflicts from the past 6 decades, and you're bound to see one thing: Seiko watches on the wrists of military personnel and likely on both sides of every major conflict. While most modern practitioners have transitioned to digital tool watches, Seiko is still deeply ingrained in the watches of espionage community. Founded in Tokyo in 1881, Seiko today serves as one of the world's largest watch brands, using vertically integrated production to manufacture a collection of both quartz and mechanical timepieces spanning a wide range of price points. Known for inexpensive utilitarian tools, Seiko has come to be known as the Toyota of watches, a comparison that goes well beyond the brand's shared Japanese roots. For the same reasons that the Toyota Hilux and Land Cruisers are commonly spotted in conflict zones, relatively low cost and legendary reliability, Seiko watches have adorned the wrists of hard men in hard places for decades. But it wasn't always this way. Japan's manufacturing, along with its watchmaking industry, was all but destroyed during the Second World War. So how did Seiko replace Swiss giants like Rolex, Tudor, and Omega on the wrists of warfighters just a couple of decades later? While Seiko watches were used by the Japanese military during World War II, the brand's ascent with service members started in earnest during the Vietnam War. Procured using black budget funds and issued to the shadowy operators of Military Assistance Command Vietnam Studies and Observations Group, or SOG, 4 Seiko 5 references were issued from 1967 to 1970. Worn on simple nylon pull-through or tropic-style rubber straps, often with Waltham WCC wrist compasses, the watches accompanied the men of macv-sog as they cemented the legend of U.S. Army Special Forces in the modern era. The age-old adage is that all a Special Forces man needs are a star sapphire ring, a Randall knife, and a Rolex. But the truth is that Seiko is just as closely linked to Special Forces. Beyond Army SF, numerous frogmen, divers, and conventional troops also look to Seiko, purchasing models like the 6105 from post exchanges. When the U.S. Navy phased out the Tudor submariners that had been issued to the SEAL team since before the Vietnam War, it looked to Seiko, in many cases equipping the teams with the 6309, affectionately known to collectors as the Turtle, for its distinctive cushion case shape. The Turtle was commonly worn on training and deployments through the 1970s, 80s, and even into the 90s. For the Navy, Seiko presented a compelling proposition for government procurement, providing a similar level of utility compared to the Swiss-produced Tudor Submariner, while coming in at around half the price. Some SEAL-issued Seikos have also been passed down through generations of frogmen, showing the enduring link between naval special warfare and the Japanese watchmaker. One of the best examples of this trend is the Navy-issued 6309-7049, owned by Kyle Dufour, a decorated veteran of SEAL Team 6, whose watch was passed down to him by legendary Vietnam-era SEAL Rudy Bosch. Even if it is an affordable Seiko, a watch is never just a watch. During the Cold War and after digital watches took off in the early 70s, CIA technical officers reportedly modified an off-the-shelf digital Seiko to conceal a Tropel T100 miniature camera. When the asset, or recruited agent, rotated the dial nearly 180 degrees, it exposed the camera aperture at the 6 o'clock position. A button at the 4 o'clock position activated the shutter to take the picture. As the CIA's Seiko clandestine camera watch indicates, there's more than one way to use a watch as a tool. Beyond the United States, many international military organizations also look to Seiko to outfit their forces, including Israel's Shayetet 13, the Israeli Defense Force equivalent to the U.S. Navy SEALs. Historically associated with Tudor and Eterna, Israel's Maritime Special Operations Unit later adopted inexpensive quartz-powered Seiko models starting in the 1980s, including the reference 7548 and eventually a pair of kinetic models, the SMY-001 and then the SKA-371. From the sea to the skies, British Royal Air Force pilots also looked to Seiko starting in the 1980s. Rather than simply buying a pre-existing watch and adding military markings, the RAF went a step further, creating a pair of quartz chronographs that were based on a civilian reference but modified to the needs of military pilots with fixed lug bars and military markings. The so-called Gen 1 was issued to RAF pilots starting in 1984, with the Gen 2 taking over in 1990. There are countless other examples of Seiko watches being used by conventional and special operations military forces around the world, including modern practitioners today. The link between Seiko and watches of espionage is strong. Just as certain Toyota vehicles, including the Hilux and Land Cruiser, have carved out a unique niche in modern warfare, there are Seikos that are more closely tied to the world of military, intelligence, and special operations. In no particular order, here are a few of our top picks for Seikos of Espionage. Once an obscure reference, the Arabic Seiko, aka the Seik-W.O.E, is now a popular watch with deep meaning in our community. Many of us have spent a considerable amount of time in the Middle East over the past 20+ years and have a strong affinity for the rich culture and language of the Arab world. The Seik-W.O.E comes in at around $150, marking an excellent entry point for a first mechanical watch that also serves as a near-perfect watch of espionage on a budget. Backed by deep military connections, a utilitarian design format, and a more attainable price point compared to other vintage dive watch legends, the 6309 is among the most important diving and military watches of all time. Issued to and worn by frogmen, para-rescue men, Green Berets, and countless others, the 6309 Turtle is also one of the more attainable picks out there for anyone looking for a vintage military dive watch, easily found well under $1,000. If you're looking for something new, Seiko's SRPE93 is a modern evolution of the original Turtle that is also excellent and relatively cheap at $495. Produced from 1996 until right around 2018, the SKX 007 and 009 are likely responsible for making more new watch collectors over the past couple of decades than any other family of watches. Decried by some for its non-hacking and non-hand-winding 7S26 caliber, the SKX still has legions of passionate fans who count the watch among the all-time dive watch greats. Today, the SKX's core design lives among the Seiko 5 sports collection, with models like the SRPD 55 and 51 providing a similar look and feel with a more modern hacking and hand-winding movement while coming in around $300. Designed for terrestrial use, the Seiko Alpinist SPB121 is a favorite among the W.O.E community. With 200 meters of water resistance, an internal rotating bezel enabling a measure of compass functionality, an upgraded caliber providing 70 hours of power reserve, and a price point well under $1,000, the Alpinist is unassuming yet capable, a modern Seiko for anyone in the military or intelligence community to consider. What's your favorite Seiko model? Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, drop a comment, and hit the bell icon to be informed when we release new videos. For even more, check out our website, watchesofespionage.com, for more content, as well as our collection of watch straps and other purpose-built tools designed for our community. Until next time, happy hunting.